Here's a book I picked up in my local bookshop last week. It's by an American poet called John Ashbery, and it's called Notes from the Air. He's obviously very well thought of because he's published tons of books, and also because there's a poem in here. It's called Untitled. It's titled Untitled, which apparently is written all over a bridge in Minneapolis, which is a new way of getting poetry across to the public, and sounds as if it could be pretty dangerous. It says that the words of the poem are affixed to the upper lintels of the span and run in each direction across the bridge. I can just see people stepping out into the road to read the poem and being mowed down one after the other. However, it's pretty neat. His poems are very interesting. They leave one guessing all the time. It's a bit like what we used to hear about in the old days, a stream of consciousness. There's also some Zen in there, I suspect. I'll give you a sample of it so that you can hear it for yourself. This one's called Just Wednesday. So it likes light and likes to be teased about it. Please don't take me literally. That winter light should be upon us soon in all its splendour. I can see it now, and the likes of the haves shall mingle with the have-nots to some point this time, we all hope, and the pride encoded in the selection process that made us what we are, that made our great religions fit us, will be deployed. A map-like fan, so you can actually sit down and find us where we came from. True, some at first claimed they recognized it, and later admitted they didn't, as though the slow rise of history were just some tune. That didn't prevent others from really finishing the job, and in the process turning up points of gold that are, we say, these things we shall have now. And the jolly carpenter tune merely played along with all that as an obligato, but on a day took up residence in its own strength. A weary sense of triumph ensued, but it was the reality of creation. There were no two ways, and so one emerged, scalded with the apprehension of this, that this was what it was like. You gave me a penny. I gave you 2 copies of the same word that were to fit you like rubber ears. Is it my fault if in the dust of the sensation something got knowingly underscored, defaced, a shame to all the nation? After all, it suited when you set out dressed in plum, and Mama was to meet us at the midpoint of the journey, but she got taken away, and an old dressmaker's dummy, draped in soiled lace, was substituted for the intricate knowledge at this juncture. The grass grew looser, but closer together, the flowers husky and fierce as trees. On the spiffy ground no wagers were taken, and a few minutes' absence is the bee's knees. It behooves you to depart if the moon is cowled. That homeless blanket you gave up, you should have sent them both years ago. A few cronies still gather there where the shore was explained, and now the waves explain it with renewed mastery and suds. Almost time for the watchman to tell it to the lamplighter, and I'll be switched after all these years. There we are. That's rather fascinating. It's difficult to follow the line of his thought, if indeed he has one. But it's pretty well written, despite all that. Have a look for yourself, and let me know what you think.